Hey, welcome back to Leah's Leaves. Today we're going to talk about the therapeutic benefits of gardening for adults like me who have ADHD. My ADHD diagnosis came rather recently and just in the last couple of years, and I have been a grower off and on my whole life as space allowed in the places I was living. But it's only since I received my diagnosis that I suddenly began to find that some of the parts of gardening that have been very difficult for me, establishing routines, keeping up with weeding during the hot season, keeping up with water and all that stuff, watering, it suddenly makes sense why some of gardening was difficult for me. And when I get out and talk to other grown-ups who have ADHD, they'll say, I've started a garden before and it didn't work out, or I started one and didn't finish, or I have a black thumb and all my plants died. I want to kind of flip the script and teach you some gardening hacks and methods that will help you let your ADHD work with your garden and not against it. So let's get started. Bring you into my red bathroom. This is my guest bathroom. I have a toothbrush here. One of the things you can do as an ADHD person is called habit stacking. And habit stacking is where you attach a habit you're trying to develop to a habit you already have. Since I brush my teeth every day, I now have stacked a habit. Every time I brush my teeth, first thing in the morning, I then have a spray bottle, and I bring my spray bottle over to my grow lights here, and I spray the surface of my microgreens or my seedlings, or I water my houseplants. I have a goldfish plant and an amaryllis there, and I have a container of Virginia peanuts started. So brushing my teeth reminds me while I'm rinsing my mouth that I have plants that need watered right here. That's habit stacking. ADHD hack number 2 is organizing things at point of performance. I'm grateful to another YouTuber named Jessica McCabe. She's the author of a book called How to ADHD, and she has a YouTube channel of the same name. And she coined the phrase point of performance. What she means by that is put things where you know you will remember they are, not where you think they should go. And also, along with that, because some ADHD people like me are visual, I coordinate things about my garden in visual ways. I also make them visible, visual and visible. So for an example, I'm going to show you my seed collection. Hi, Holly. Holly's food dish and water dish are right in front of my TV stand. And I store my seeds here because I do a lot of seed swapping in the off season and I plant a bunch during the gardening season. I need my seeds to be at point of performance. If they were stored anywhere else in my house, or if I had to go and dig for them, if I had to remember where I put them, or if I had them spread around different places, the seed swapping wouldn't happen and half my garden would never be planted. I also color coordinate. All of the cool colors in these photo cases, these are just 4x6 photo cases. These are cool loving plants. These are all my Asian greens, brassicas, radishes, peas, carrots, and herbs. All of my herbs. So I color coordinated cold weather or cold tolerant plants in cool colors. Peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants, which love heat, and plus I have a lot of them, in these warm colors, orange, pink, red. And then all my general purpose seeds are here. This is all of my corns, squashes, cucurbits, peas and peanuts, carrots I think are back here. All of my onions and leeks, celery, they're kind of here in these middle colors. I know exactly which container every seed that I own is in because I coordinate them this way. It's so nice. It's just 5 steps less than confusing myself by storing them in a variety of other methods. I've tried all kinds of different things. My flower seeds are stored a little bit differently. I have them grouped by type and then alphabetized. So bachelor buttons go before calendula, which goes before cosmos, etc., etc. Again, organized, and I know exactly where to reach. The left side are specific types of flowers, ranging from bachelor buttons to zinnias. And on the right side are either non-flowering plants, wildflower mixes, or types of plants like spike varieties or the flowers that go in my white moon garden. Another habit is body doubling. And today my little garden gnome Holly is going to be my body double. Hi, sweetie. She was just rolling around in something. You see that? She's all dirty. She was up in the pine field. Body doubling is an ADHD trick where you bring a friend or family member along. Bring a friend or family member and let them just be present with you. They don't have to be doing what you're doing. They could come and read a book. They could be noodling around on their phone or listening to a podcast. You can put on music in the background, or you can just chat. Although for some ADHD people, having side conversations might actually waylay your progress. So you might want to talk to them in advance about that and say, if you body double quietly with me for 25 minutes at a time, then we can take little short breaks between. Or if you'll work with me for an hour, then we can, chat and visit afterward for as long as it takes. Body doubling makes a person visible and present, which in a weird way puts pressure on an ADHD person to keep working, because now you have a built-in accountability. But that person isn't barking at you. They're not harping on you about what you're doing wrong or why you're not working fast enough. They're there to be a minister of presence and just to keep you company so that you stay motivated to stay on task. Another ADHD-friendly gardening hack is practicing mindfulness in the garden. We'll do more content specific to this subject in the future, but today I want to just introduce you to the general concept. When you're mindful in the garden, you are making yourself deliberately aware of what's immediately in front of you. Not just the task that you're performing in the garden, but making your senses aware of the sights, sounds, tastes, textures, and fragrances. Right now it's February. There's not a whole lot growing. Of course, I have everything either died or is dormant from over the winter. But I hear dogs barking up the hill. I feel and hear leaves crunching under my feet. I feel a cool breeze on my skin. I see that in the middle of all of this brown and the dead growth, I have this tatsoi that's fighting its way through the winter. And as I'm working and practicing mindfulness in my garden and being present in this moment, it helps me to focus on single tasks. ADHD people are notoriously bad at multitasking. We try to tell ourselves that we're good at multitasking, but all the studies indicate that multitasking is not productive. It's not the most productive use of your time. Single focus is the most productive use of your time. So bring a visual timer out with you to the garden. This is my visual timer, and it has a nice loud beep at the end. Use something like a Pomodoro technique where you set it for 25 minutes at a time and take 5-minute breaks between. If you can't focus for 25 minutes, try 15, try 10. But in that 10 minutes, commit to doing one single task in the garden or one type of task while you're practicing your mindfulness. And the last thing about mindfulness in the garden for people with ADHD is your garden isn't just for working. You're allowed to enjoy your garden. So take time to rest in your garden. Take time to think in your garden. I took Jess Soward's advice from Roots and Refuge Farm and put a thinking stump in my garden. It's right next to my green stock right now. As I'm rebuilding my beds this year, it'll eventually end up right slap dab in the middle of all of them on the mulch path. It's a place for me to sit. I can sit and take my 5-minute breaks while I'm working, or I can come out here and enjoy and appreciate all of the effort that I'm putting into my beautiful garden. Those are just a few tips that you can employ to help gardening work with your ADHD and not against it. If you would like to know more, I've put some links in the description box that send you to some resources I've created about this. One is a book, it's an ebook called Seeds of Hope, Therapeutic Benefits of Gardening for Adults with ADHD. It's a $5 ebook. There's also a webinar. It's a 1 hour, it's a little bit over an hour, that teaches you how to start a garden with ADHD in mind. And there's even a printable checklist of seasonal tasks and daily tasks that you can set up routines and systems, and how to do that with ADHD friendly tips so that you can keep on top of your garden all year long. I'm learning a lot. I'm sharing it here. I hope you'll come grow with me. Bye.